Kieran Review Print Speaking to the Blind, celebrating 40 years of audio newspaper production. Welcome to this week's edition of the Kirkintilloch Herald podcast, recorded at the Bishopbriggs Media Centre by our amazing volunteers. You can get in touch with us via Facebook, Twitter or Instagram using @KieranReview. That is @CuanDreview. You can also contact us directly by emailing information at QuanReview.com. That is INFORMATION@CuanReview.com, or by calling 0141 772 3976. That's 0141 772 3976.
This week's podcast, date Wednesday the 14th of June 2023, is read to you by Alan, Corey, Hunter and Ian.
Make your voice heard. Locals are being asked to have their say in shaping the future of East Dunbartonshire. The local authority are holding a wide-ranging consultation as part of their efforts for the next local development plan, to be known as LDP3, the deadline for which is later this month. Responses are already being received to help lay the groundwork, but the council wants as many people as possible to drop in, log on, or put pen to paper, and have their say for the vital document. LDP3 sets out a long-term vision for where development should and should not happen. It is vital for addressing climate change, delivering high-quality places to live, attracting new jobs and investment, regenerating town centres, and protecting historic and natural environment. Council leader Gordon Lowe told the Herald, "We're seeking views on communications, engagement activities, materials, support for new local place plans, and how to balance areas of potential conflict and dispute. The aim is to ensure we are engaging with as many residents, businesses, and groups as possible, as effectively as possible. The draft participation statement sets out proposed engagement at various stages and is part of the overall development plan scheme to provide a work programme for delivery. Community groups are also being encouraged to find out more about local place plans, LPPs, which can be used to highlight issues, ideas and aspirations. LPPs can identify areas of potential change and opportunity and suggest new or alternative uses for vacant or derelict land. They can also recommend places that should be protected. Information sessions are being held at Bearsden Hall on Monday, June 12th, from 7:15pm to 8:45pm. You can find out more about the document and have a say by heading online. Just visit the East Dunbartonshire Government website before June 27th. In addition to the website survey, comments can also be provided by email to development.plan@eastdunbarton.gov.uk or via post to Land Planning Policy, South Bank House, Strathkelvin Place, Kirkintilloch, East Dunbartonshire, G66 1XQ. Read by Alan Todd.
Refugees Festival was recorded by Hunter MacDonald. Communities in Kirkintilloch are coming together this summer to celebrate Refugee Festival Scotland. The festival is organised by Scottish Refugee Council and runs from this Friday, June the 16th to June the 25th. The packed programme of events includes contributions from people who came to East Dunbartonshire seeking refugee protection and the communities that have welcomed them. There's something for everyone, with more than 100 events taking place in communities. This year the theme of the festival is hope, with many events showcasing inspiring stories and sharing hopes and dreams for a better future. The festival brings communities together to celebrate the positive contribution refugees make to life in Scotland. Find out more at refugeefestivalscotland.org.uk. ScotRail cracking down on fraud. ScotRail is cracking down on people who deliberately try to dodge paying the correct fare for their journey. The train operator is creating 42 new revenue protection officer roles as it attempts to reduce ticket fraud, currently costing around £2 million per year in Scotland. A pilot scheme using new ticket validation machines has also been taking place over the last few weeks at stations including Edinburgh Waverley, Glasgow Central, Glasgow Queen Street, Croy, High Street, Rutherglen and Paisley Canal. The devices are designed to read mobile tickets and barcoded tickets as passengers pass through the ticket gates. Tickets are scanned and passengers who have paid the correct fare will pass through the gates as normal. The ticket validation devices are designed to flag up potentially invalid tickets. Invalid tickets include those not valid for a particular journey, those where railcard conditions apply, an adult customer using a child's ticket, a customer claiming a short hop journey such as Haymarket to Waverley when they have been travelling a longer distance, and when a customer is travelling from a station that is staffed where they could have bought a ticket but chose not to. Head of Operations for ScotRail Phil Campbell said, "Tackling ticket fraud has always been a priority for us. We are determined to drive down ticketless travel, making the rail network a safer and more secure environment for customers and colleagues alike." Council take lead over trauma care. People affected by trauma must be able to access public services in a considerate and emphatic way. That's the stance from the local authority who want to educate, inform and lead colleagues, partners and others on how best to support people dealing with trauma. They will now spearhead a multi-agency group to do just that. The East Dunbartonshire ACEs and Trauma Collaborative EDATC hosted its first in-person workshop in Kirkintilloch recently. That saw council employees, elected members, the Health and Social Care Partnership HSCP, as well as another public and third sector partners taking part. The meeting and purpose of the group is to raise awareness of the 5 pillars of trauma-informed care, namely choice, collaboration, empowerment, safety and trust. Here those both receiving and providing such services should be able to work together to build successful relationships for positive change. HSCP Chief Officer Caroline Sinclair said, "By working together and learning more about trauma, its effects on people and how they respond to certain behaviours and situations, we hope to create a trauma-informed community." The aim of our recent workshop was to begin work on a 3-year plan for the EDATC by sharing valuable experiences and knowledge from many years of working on the front line of public services. That plan will contain key priorities and tangible actions to help us all understand trauma better and develop our services through a trauma-informed lens. Seeking support. A charity is appealing for volunteers to help end social isolation for people with learning disabilities and autism. This Volunteers Week Equal Futures supports adults aged 16 or over with such conditions to live a good life and plan for the future. They are asking for people to help with their efforts to prevent social isolation and are using this month's Volunteers Week to raise awareness of what they do. Equal Futures was founded in 2002 in Scotland by a group of parents who have a family member with disabilities. In 2015, Equal Futures joined their group in an effort to create circles of support around service users, providing a network of people who genuinely care for the individual to help them in their life. To find out more about helping, head to equalfutures.org.uk. Beloved Gardens host Open Day. Calling all garden lovers, Milton of Campsie Gardens are to open their gates to the public for charity with Scotland's Garden Scheme. A selection of beautiful gardens will be opening their gates to the public this Sunday, June the 18th. That's in an effort to raise funds for a number of Scotland's Garden Scheme's beneficiary charities. Visitors will be able to visit a lovely collection of private gardens, large and small, and all very different. The gardens of Milton of Campsie will be open from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Tickets can be purchased for £8 at the Church Centre, Lochiel Drive, where there will also be plants for sale. Refreshments with home baking are included in the price.
Parliament applications. Applications from young people wishing to stand in the Scottish Youth Parliament's 2023 elections are now being sought. Members of the Scottish Youth Parliament, SYP, also known as MSYPs, are aged between 14 and 25 and are democratically elected every 2 years, 2 each for every Scottish Parliament constituency. In East Dunbartonshire, 2 constituencies, Strathkelvin and Bearsden and Clydebank and Mulgai, will be contested, with candidates having a chance to represent other young people in their local community. 2 East Dunbartonshire candidates will be elected to represent Strathkelvin and Bearsden, and 1 East Dunbartonshire candidate will be elected to represent Clydebank and Mulgai. Prospective candidates have until Monday the 31st of July to register their interest in standing to become an MSYP. They will then receive training to help develop their skills over the summer before they launch their election campaigns in the autumn. Across Scotland, young people will then cast their ballots to choose who they want to represent them for the next 2 years between Monday the 6th and Sunday the 19th of November. Throughout their current term, MSYPs at East Dunbartonshire have played a full part in the life of the SYP. Molly McGoran, MSYP, Chair of the Scottish Youth Parliament, said, "We're excited to launch our elections for people aged 14 to 25 across the country to stand to become MSYPs, ahead of our 25th anniversary as the democratically elected voice of Scotland's young people in 2024. This is a chance to join a uniquely youth-led organisation to campaign for change on the important issues that young people care about." Leader of East Dunbartonshire Council, Gordon Lowe, added, "It is vitally important that we hear the voices of young people and that we empower them to stand up and have their say about things that matter to them. The Scottish Youth Parliament plays an important role in decision making at the highest level, so it is right that we cast the net far and wide in East Dunbartonshire to encourage as many young people as possible to come forward and get involved." More information is available online at www.syp.org.uk/get-involved/elections.
More must be done. East Dunbartonshire has one of the highest rates of child poverty in Scotland. That's according to research by Loughborough University on behalf of the End Child Poverty Coalition. New figures released last week show 1 in 3 children in Scotland to be living in poverty, with ministers face missing legal deprivation targets. Authors of the study said that levels of child poverty remained unacceptably high across Scotland and the rest of the UK. That sees 250,000 children, or 24% of the Scottish population, in poverty. John Dickey of the End Child Poverty Coalition said further effort is needed to ensure the child poverty targets are met. He said, "These latest statistics are a stark reminder that child poverty remains unacceptably high across the UK, including in every local authority area of Scotland. It's now absolutely vital the UK government scraps poverty-creating policies like the 2-child limit." East Dunbartonshire is in the top 10 out of the country's 32 local authorities for levels of child poverty, with 14.9% of youngsters considered to be missing out on basic rights. They sit 7th behind Glasgow, 32%, North Ayrshire, 29%, Clackmannanshire, 28.3%, West Dunbartonshire, 27.6%, Aberdeenshire, 16%, and Shetland, 15.4%. East Renfrewshire has the lowest rate, with just 14.4% of children living in poverty. Official analysis shows that by introducing the Scottish Child Payment, SCP, in February 2021, the Scottish Government has helped move 50,000 children from poverty. However, the country as a whole is still woefully behind its own targets of 18% by next year and 10% by 2030, as set out by the Child Poverty Act 2017. Almost £250 million worth of SCP payments have been made since its February 2021 launch, with new figures showing over 300,000 children to be receiving the payment. Extended in November to include all eligible children until their 16th birthday, the benefit pays £25 per child per week. Mr Dickey added, "Here in Scotland, the Scottish Child Payment is already making a big difference to struggling families, but further effort is now needed to ensure Scotland's upcoming child poverty targets are met." The First Minister has committed to use devolved powers to the absolute maximum effect, so his government must now do the right thing and go further to both increase the value of the Scottish Child Payment and put in place additional payments for families affected by the two-child limit. The study, which covers the period 2021 to 2022, found that Scotland has lower levels of child poverty than England or Wales. Across the UK, 4.2 million children were living in poverty, 29%. Anti-poverty campaigners want the Scottish Government to increase the investment in the SCP benefit to provide additional payments for families affected by the UK-wide two-child limit, demanding it be abolished.
Libraries' Crucial Role in Dementia by reporter Hilary Scott. East Dunbartonshire Library have been declared Dementia Information Hubs in a new partnership with Alzheimer's Scotland. All 8 libraries in the area will have leaflets offering further sources of information and support, and all computers have links to the charity's Brain Health Checker. Staff at the larger libraries have also undertaken training to support them to engage positively with people living with dementia and other memory loss. This new partnership complements and adds value to the work East Dunbartonshire Leisure and Cultural Trust Learning and Access Coordinators are already delivering with the Memory Scotland Memory Group's Reminiscence Project. Jim Neal, Chair of East Dunbartonshire Leisure and Cultural Trust, said, "This partnership demonstrates our commitment to ensuring our libraries are a welcoming place for everyone. Libraries play an important role in our communities, and by becoming a dementia information hub, our staff can not only provide information direct from Alzheimer's Scotland, but are ensuring the libraries are a safe space for anyone affected by dementia." The new partnership covers the Scottish Libraries and Information Council, the Digital Health and Care Innovation Centre, Alzheimer's Scotland, and Pathfinder Libraries in East Dunbartonshire, Stirling, Aberdeenshire, Glasgow, Fife, North Ayrshire, Inverclyde, the Lothians and Renfrewshire. Staff in those libraries have undertaken Alzheimer's Scotland's Dementia Friends Scotland programme to help them better understand the day-to-day challenges of living with dementia and support for people with dementia to fully use the library's resources. Pamela Tulloch, Chief Executive of the Scottish Library and Information Council, said, "Libraries offer a calm, safe haven for anyone looking for a respite, support and information about dementia. Furthermore, library event programmes include dementia-friendly film screenings, chatty cafes and reminiscent groups. Our public libraries play a crucial role in tackling this very real problem. The partnership has been dubbed inspirational for making sure nobody faces dementia alone." Talk for Walkers. Kirkintilloch Mountaineering Walking Club hosted an exciting talk from 2 very different Munroists last month. Kevin Woods, who completed all Munros in one winter season 2019 to 2020, and 10-year-old Quinn Young, who completed her challenge with her father Ian in 2022. Both inspired a mixed audience of adults and enthusiastic young children, and no doubt we will see more young ones on the hills as a result. Indeed, 11-year-old Lily is following in Quinn's footsteps, having completed 47 Munros to date. Anita from KMWC would like to thank everyone who came to support tonight, with thanks to local businesses and other outdoor clubs. A special thank you to Tizo for their donation. KMWC meet every Thursday in Lenzie Rugby Club around 8:30pm for a social chat. Talk for Walkers. Kirkintilloch Mountaineering Walking Club hosted an exciting talk from two very different Monroeists last month. Kevin Woods, who completed all Monroes in one winter season 2019 to 2020, and 10-year-old Quinn Young, who completed her challenge with her father Ian in 2022. Both inspired a mixed audience of adults and enthusiastic young children, and no doubt we will see more young ones on the hills as a result. Indeed, 11-year-old Lily is following in Quinn's footsteps, having completed 47 Monroes to date. Anita from KMWC would like to thank everyone who came to support tonight, with thanks to local businesses and other outdoor clubs. A special thank you to Tizo for their donation. KMWC meet every Thursday in Lenzie Rugby Club around 8:30pm for a social chat. SNP Council on offensive. East Dunbartonshire Council's SNP administration has attacked a Liberal Democrat group over comments made in a recent newsletter they distributed. The newsletter quotes Kirkintilloch East and North and Twicker councillor Susan Murray, saying planned updates to School Estate have been delayed, in particular refurbishments of Bearsden and Mulguy's primary schools and the replacement of Balmudy Primary School in Bishopbriggs. Education convener Linda Williamson said, "The claim that these projects have been postponed is simply baseless. The actual project timelines for Bearsden and Mulguy primaries is now known, and pre-application consultation events for the Balmudy planning application are now underway. It is extremely regrettable that our political opponents have either misunderstood or misrepresented the situation, causing understandable uncertainty and upset amongst our school communities." Council leader Gordon Lowe added, "We will oppose any attempt to turn children's education into a political football, and the parents, pupils and staff at Mulguy, Bearsden and Balmudy are due an apology from the Lib Dems for, once again, spreading misleading information. Councillor Vaughan Moody, leader of the Liberal Democrat group, got it wrong in Westerton. Susan has got it wrong here." The Lib Dems seem to be making a habit of leaping to conclusions and spreading misinformation. The SNP administration, meanwhile, will continue working positively to deliver the best possible future for the communities of East Dunbartonshire. Councillor Murray said the Lib Dems have always prioritised education, adding, "Shortly after the SNP took power in May 2022, they published anticipated construction start dates of July 2023 for rebuilding Balmudy Primary and refurbishing Mulguy, Bearsden and Westerton primary schools, in line with our plans. Now, their published anticipated construction start dates have been pushed out to 2024, with no start date yet for Westerton." Taxi firms seek clarification. On Wednesday, May the 17th, we carried an article titled "Taxi Drivers and Fares Feud." The article appeared without the input of the firm in question. We apologise for this. The firm have raised inaccuracies with the piece and have been offered a chance of a rebuttal following the initial article's inclusion, but say they just want clarification. It was said that the firm had been calling in favours from other taxi firms to help with fares. The firm in question say that this is not the case, and that their stance is supported by East Dunbartonshire Council's position on the matter. The local authority confirmed they were aware of complaints, but are not investigating the matter. Whilst it's not illegal for taxi firms to pick up or drop off fares in neighbouring council areas, it is against the rules to trade there exclusively. As per the Civic Government S Act 1982, a taxi driver cannot go into neighbouring authority and carry out fares. Celebrities show support. We need to get a commissioner. Report by Julie Curry. Legends from the world of entertainment are supporting charity Independent Age in calling for an older people's commissioner for Scotland. Singer Barbara Dixon and actors Gregor Fisher and Barbara Rafferty have added their voices to the campaign that calls for everyone to have their voice heard as we age. The well-kent faces are urging the Scottish Government to appoint a commissioner to act as a champion for older people. A commissioner in Scotland would ensure the voices of older people are heard by encouraging joined-up thinking across all government departments and long-term policy solutions that benefit everyone in later life. They would also challenge the misconception that everyone in later life is enjoying a comfortable retirement. With more than 150,000 older people in Scotland living in poverty, and many more struggling to make ends meet due to the cost of living crisis, the stars speak out about why establishing a commissioner is so important. Barbara, 75, said, "I'm joining Independent Age to call for an older people's commissioner in Scotland because it's time my generation had a champion to highlight the issues we face as we age. Poverty is impacting on too many older people in Scotland, with 150,000 people over 66 now living in poverty and facing a daily battle to make ends meet. An independent commissioner to join up government decision making and policies with the needs of older people in mind is urgently needed." Gregor Fisher, 69, is best known for playing the title role in the well-loved comedy series Rab C. Nisbet. He said, "I'm supporting the call for an older people's commissioner because so many older people are struggling at the moment. It's so important that, as we age, we know our voices will be listened to and represented, especially when it comes to government policies that will shape our experience of ageing." And Barbara, 73, who plays Bernie O'Hara in soap River City, added, "As we age, we can start to feel invisible and like our opinions don't matter. With Scotland's ageing population, we urgently need a champion for older people to ensure services and policies are designed with the needs of people over 65 in mind. That's why I'm joining Independent Age to call on the government to create an older people's commissioner. Currently, 1 million people in Scotland are aged 65 or over. In less than 20 years, over 1.4 million, 1 in 4, will be over 65. Debbie Horn, Independent Age Policy Manager, said, "We are incredibly grateful to Barbara, Greg and Barbara for supporting our call for an older people's commissioner in Scotland and shining a light on poverty in later life. We all deserve to look forward to our later years, and our older people's commissioner will be a champion for the over 65s. Campaign backing. As well as attracting support from famous Scottish faces, the campaign also has the backing of 35 organisations who signed a joint statement launched at the start of May. The call is also backed by the public, with a YouGov poll commissioned by Independent Age showing that 89% of Scots over 65 support the creation of a commissioner. 1 in 7 older people in Scotland are now living in poverty, up 25% in the last decade, yet the issue isn't a government priority. To show your support, visit www.campaigns.independentage.org.
Lenzie celebrates 10 years of being fair trade. A musical celebration was held in Lenzie to celebrate 10 years as a fair trade town. Efforts to gain fair trade town status started in October 2011, becoming a reality in the spring of 2013. With the worst of the pandemic now behind us, Lenzie Fair Trade decided a great way to celebrate would be a musical event arranged and conducted by Donald MacLeod, retired Church of Scotland minister and former Royal Scottish National Orchestra violinist. Donald gathered together a group of over 20 musicians who regaled the audience with light classical and Scottish fiddle music while the sun streamed in through the windows in Lenzie Union Parish Church on a perfect evening in late May. During a short interval, Tracy Mitchell, founder and coordinator of the Lenzie Fair Trade Group, reminded everyone why fair trade is still so important and why producers in the Global South desperately need our continued support. She listed many ways in which Lenzie had supported fair trade by attending coffee mornings, participating in baking competitions, visiting fair trade stalls at various fairs, the Lenzie Gala, the Campsie Show, et al. In fact, the list is almost endless, and the 5-minute time slot allocated to her proved insufficient. The audience also heard from Comfort International about their work in Central Africa to bring help and healing to the most vulnerable people devastated by poverty, genocide and conflict. The celebration was brought to a close by Provost Gillian Rennick.
All it takes is one glowing ember in the wrong place. Forestry and Land Scotland has joined with the Scottish Fire and Rescue Service in urging anyone who is planning to visit the countryside to help save lives by exercising extreme caution. The call comes as fire crews, foresters and a host of land management partners tackle wildfires across Scotland that are placing people at significant risk, either those at the scenes of fires or members of the public who rely on a swift response in emergency situations. Simon Hodgson, FLS Chief Executive, said, This last few weeks have been unusual for the lack of rainfall in some parts of the country, as well as the extended period of hot, sunny weather. The risk of wildfire in these conditions is significantly higher than normal, and we need everyone to play their part in minimising the risk. If you are going for a walk or planning to do some camping, be sensible and do not take any risks. Do not light campfires, do not smoke, and think twice before using a camping stove. If you really have to use a stove, make sure it is as stable as possible, as well as away from any flammable material and is on a level and preferably fire-resistant surface. We have all seen in the last 2 weeks how devastating wildfire can be and how quickly they can spread. We all need to be vigilant and be aware that all it takes is one glowing ember landing in the wrong place. SFRS and partners assisting in supporting roles have been tackling 2 major fires, Cannock near Inverness and at Campsie Fells, north of Glasgow, over the past 15 days. At times, there has been as many as 7 fire appliances and around 50 firefighters in attendance. There has also been a smaller fire in Tentsmuir Forest, to which fire crews from the 3 areas responded. Niall McLennan, SFRS Group Commander, said, "We are urging the public not to discard cigarettes carelessly or light disposable barbecues or campfires in areas where there is vegetation, much of which is tinder dry. As the warm and dry weather continues, so too does the risk of wildfire. The ongoing incident at Cannock and our recent wildfire at Campsie Fells shows just how large these fires can become. It would only take a tiny spark on dry vegetation to cause a wildfire at this time of year. Please follow the Scottish Outdoor Access Code if you're heading into the countryside as the wildfire warning continues. Fire crews across the country are the first line responders for many emergency situations, some of which involve risk to life, but, with the best will in the world, they cannot be everywhere at once." Simon added, "The fire service is made up of committed, dedicated people who make every effort to be where they're needed, when they're needed. It's a high bar that they strive every day to meet. They will always be better able to rise to that challenge and do their job to the best of their ability when they do not have to divert their resources to avoidable fires. Everyone needs to bear that in mind and not take any risk with fire. As well as damaging moorland and forests, wildfires also have a devastating impact on wildlife and can put property at risk."
Family announcements. Deaths. Edgerton. Irene (Catherine) Nee Moran. Unexpectedly but peacefully on Monday, May 29th, 2023, at Glasgow Royal Infirmary. Irene, beloved wife of the late Ed, loving mother of Leslie, Morag and Edward, and mother-in-law to Carol. Much adored and very proud granny of Andrew, Patrick, Anne and Finn. Irene will be sadly missed by all who knew her. Funeral service will take place on Monday, June 19th at Daldowie Crematorium at 2 p.m. Family flowers only. Acknowledgements. Lang, Mary. The family of Mary Lang would like to thank all relatives and friends for their cards and tributes to Mary, for their sympathy and support at Daldowie and St Mary's Parish Church. To the duty elders at St Mary's, the organist David Burns, and to Reverend Dr. Ruth Morrison for her understanding and leading a lovely service. Thank you all. Thanks to the staff at the Beatson and Turret Surgery and Funeral Care in Kirkintilloch. To the staff of Ward 7 in Glasgow Royal Infirmary, your care and caring was outstanding. Pollock, Nina. Natalie and family would like to thank relatives, friends and neighbours for their many heartfelt expressions of sympathy following the death of Nina. Special thanks to Birdstone Care Home for their care of Nina in her last years. Grateful thanks to Reverend Ian Taylor and members of Springfield Cambridge Church for pastoral care and comforting service. Appreciative thanks to the Avenue, Bishopbriggs, for catering and John Harvey for sensitive support with funeral arrangements. In Memoriam. Dickinson, Agnes. Cherished memories of Mum, who passed away on June 15th, 2014. Treasured forever of love and happiness shared together. From the family, kiss, kiss.
£7 million to encourage us to choose active travel. Report by Julie Curry. Scotland's national walking charity has launched 3 funds worth £7 million in a bid to encourage the nation to choose active travel. The £1.5 million Smarter Choices, Smarter Places (CSSP) Active Nation Fund, the £1.5 million Ian Findlay Path Fund and the £5 million SCSP Open Fund have all been launched by Path for All. Supported by Transport Scotland and backed by the government, the 3 funds hope to encourage Scots to drive less and to walk, wheel or cycle as part of their everyday short journeys to cut Scotland's carbon emissions and improve air quality. Minister for Active Travel, Patrick Harvey said, "I'm pleased to welcome the launch of 3 active travel funding opportunities delivered through Pass for All. This will help to support the ambitions of public, third and community sector organisations to provide bigger and better active travel opportunities all over Scotland. As part of our record funding for active travel, this work directly supports our ambitions to build a more active nation, where more people can choose to walk, wheel and cycle for everyday journeys than ever before. The SCSP Active Nation Fund invites public, community and third sector organisations to apply for up to £200,000 to support projects which encourage travel behaviour change on a national or multi-regional level. To commemorate the legacy of the former Path for All CEO, the Ian Findlay Path Fund supports projects designed to make improvements to local walkways and paths, and to make them more accessible to all. Applicants can receive a grant of up to £100,000 for their project. The SCSP Open Fund grants communities and public and third sector organisations up to £100,000 to help people change their everyday travel behaviours. Kevin Lafferty, Pass for All CEO, said, "These funds will increase the pace and scale of active travel delivery across the country as we collectively work together to encourage active travel. If we all make small changes to our daily travel habits, such as making walking, wheeling or cycling the natural choice for our journeys to the local shop, school or pharmacy, it will make a huge difference to our health. This new support will help deliver a step change in how we choose to travel in order to tackle the climate emergency and help reduce car kilometres, and would only be possible with support from the Scottish Government and Transport Scotland. It means projects will be able to extend their reach and will be more effective in communicating important information and improving local assets. We would like to thank them for supporting the funds and look forward to seeing this amazing work that comes off the back of this." Applications for funding opened on June the 6th. To apply for the SCSP Active Nation Fund, visit www.passforall.org/active-travel/smarter-choices-1/active-nation-fund. To apply for the SCSP Open Fund, visit www.passforall.org.uk/active-travel/smarter-choices-1/open-fund. To apply for the Ian Findlay Path Fund, visit www.passforall.org.uk/community-pass-CMP-grants/Ian Findlay-Path-Fund. Let's talk. This week's letter page, date Wednesday the 14th of June 2023. Profusion of ticks were surfing over dogs' coats. Sir, the former president of the National Farmers Union in Scotland, Jim Walker, has stated that this year is undoubtedly the worst I have seen for tick infestation of ewes and lambs. I saw first-hand evidence of the explosion in rural Scotland's tick population last week, when my wife and I spent the day walking in Glory's Glen Lyon with their 2 dogs. I was astounded by the number of ticks surfing over the dog's fur at the end of the day. We have walked across Scotland with dogs for many years, but have never seen ticks in such numbers as we saw on this occasion. Ticks pose a recognised health risk to humans, as Lyme disease, a bacterial infection with potentially serious long-term effects, can be spread to humans by infected ticks. If there are tried and tested methods to reduce bracken coverage, and thereby reduce the size of the tick population, in areas where physical destruction is neither safe nor physically possible, then these measures should be instituted without delay. Necessary intervention should not be blocked by the actions of politicians such as Lorna Slater, someone who in recent weeks has clearly shown more than once that she has little knowledge of, or interest in, rural affairs. Yours, etc., Michael Lagan, by email. Lack of new reservoirs. Sir, the First Minister says water shortages will be more common. Yet in the Scottish nationalised industry, controlled by the SNP and which is apparently so much better than the English model, where are the new reservoirs? After 14 tired years of the divisive, incompetent SNP government, I'm still surprised at its many failings in many areas, but even more surprised that its core supporters ignore this disastrous record. If SNP supporters really want to achieve independence, they have to persuade others of their case, so they should be demanding better service and competent government. There may be those who doubt the case for Scotland being independent might be persuaded otherwise. Yours, etc., Brian Barber, address supplied. This perfect storm. Sir, the climate crisis is going to push 1/3 of humanity out of its livable environment. The reason the planet has been heated up beyond the limits of human endurance is the greed of corporations. Massive wildfires in Canada have caused choking smoke. Over 100 million people in the US and Canada are now under unprecedented air quality warnings. The perfect storm of parched conditions, along with unparalleled heat created by capitalism, made global warming. It has now evolved into a gargantuan public health crisis. The neoliberal system is on course to smash all goals to limit devastation brought about by global warming. The events in the US are a prelude of what is to come. The billionaire class who are responsible for this want to take away everyone else's freedom across the Western world to the right to public education, the right of teachers to teach, the right to demonstrate, the right to vote, the right to strike, even the right to survive a deadly pandemic. They rule through fear by plaguing our concerns over falling living standards, wages, the gutting of public services and infrastructure. This fear is then used to divert attention away from the actual causes of the crisis to imagined and manufactured ones. Yours, etc., Alan Henricks, by email. Death to Uist. Sir, the unprecedented protest by 600 islanders in South Uist, 1/3 of the population, should make the SNP/Green administration in Edinburgh sit up and take notice. They should put away their one-issue politics and never-ending constitutional grievances with Westminster and start concentrating on serving the people who put them where they are. The islanders said they felt forgotten, abandoned and ignored. For a matter where the SNP/Greens cannot blame the bogeyman of Westminster, this surely is another crack at the nationalist dam, growing wider it seems with every passing day. Of course, the SNP will know that the population of South Uist is tiny and lies far away and, anyway, they have other fish to fry with an impending UK Supreme Court case, and so many of the supporters are infinitely more concerned with what flag should be decorate the plastic covers on strawberry packs. Yours, etc., Alexander Mackay, address supplied. Reader's Charter. This newspaper is built on a tradition of accuracy and fairness, giving you the information you need to understand our world, holding power to account and exposing injustice. Our trusted brand means we are the only place where you can read on and participate in honest debates. We are committed to giving a voice to those who struggle to be heard, as well as those whose profession is crafting an argument. Our Reader's Charter spells out our commitment to you. You can read the charter online at Herald at gnscotland.co.uk. Whaling memories are being collected. A number of former whaling communities in Scotland are helping to create a new digital platform. The Whalers Memory Bank has been created by the South Georgia Heritage Trust and the South Georgia Museum, with funding from the National Lottery Heritage Fund. It will create a living, growing digital time capsule where veterans of the whaling industry, their families and communities can come together to contribute and share their stories with a wider audience. The story of modern whaling in the Southern Hemisphere is a controversial one, with British companies playing a key role in the industry. These companies had a largely Scottish workforce and attracted many working class men with the promise of adventure and competitive wages. Now, only a dwindling number of men survive that have first-hand memories of this industry, an integral part of our social history. They are the last generation to be able to share their stories, knowledge and personal collections before they are lost forever. Kicking off in July, the project will run for 2 years, and throughout this time, the project team will be working alongside former whaling communities to capture memories that will help create the Whalers Memory Bank. At the heart of this will be a series of community events to gather stories and help shape the memory bank that those communities want to see and will value. It will also make the connection between why whaling happened, where it happened, a great deal of it in South Georgia, and where most of the whalers came from in Scotland. Jane Pearce, project director, said, "Our aim is to create a digital portal that captures memories with photographs, oral histories, film and sounds, alongside a virtual reality tour of the whaling station in South Georgia. This work will be done using the existing collections held by the South Georgia Museum, and will also link into Scottish museums that are partners in this project. It is really going to be a joint effort, bringing together the former whalers and their communities to hear their stories and let them help shape the memory bank they really want to see. We know from the contact we already have with the former whaling communities that families are eager to share their personal collections, artefacts and photographs stored in attics, cupboards and drawers, each with a story to tell. We really hope the project will connect communities across local, national and international boundaries and dispel some of the myths around whaling. It will create a richer experience than a simple online database, dynamic rather than static, uplifting and celebratory. The Scottish Fisheries Museum in Anstruther, the Scottish Maritime Museum in Irvine, and Dundee Heritage Trust Verdant Works are all collaborating on the project, as they each hold hidden whaling archives and collections that are enlightening and inspiring. Anyone interested in getting involved with the project should email memorybank at sght.org.
Childhood Day helps us support children. The NSPCC has released new figures showing its Childline service delivered over 8,000 counselling sessions to children in Scotland last year. Last year, at least 8,599 of the counselling sessions delivered by Childline were with children and young people who were living in Scotland. And almost 30,000 sessions were delivered to children across the UK by a counsellor based at the NSPCC's Glasgow and Aberdeen Childline call centres. In total, more than 195,000 Childline counselling sessions were held with young people from across the UK over the past year, and the charity is determined to continue to be there for any child who wishes to speak to them about their worries. The top 5 main concerns for children were mental and emotional health and well-being, family relationships, friendship issues, bullying and school education problems. Last Friday, people across the country came together to play their part in the charity's Childhood Day. The flagship fundraising and awareness day launched 3 years ago to bring communities together and highlight the vital role everyone can play in helping to keep children safe. This year, the charity saw displays of support, including collections at supermarkets and outside the Bruce Springsteen concert in Edinburgh, which brought in donations of £1,288. Staff and volunteers from Glasgow's Childline also raised £1,472 by doing a sponsored Silly Hat Walk along the River Clyde on Sunday, June 4th, while colleagues from Childline also raised £3,084 by taking part in the Aberdeen and Glasgow Kilt Walks.
Flying the flag for Scotland's beaches. More than 50 beaches have scooped Scotland's Beach Award from environmental charity Keep Scotland Beautiful and will be flying the prestigious flag this summer. Scotland's Beach Award celebrates the achievements of well-managed beaches across Scotland meaning that visitors and locals can choose where they want to visit with the knowledge that the beach is being looked after for people and the environment. A total of 52 beaches have received the award this year from Aberdeenshire to the Scottish borders. Fife retains its title as the region with the most awards, boasting 14 winning beaches. Aberdeenshire and East Lothian followed on its heels, with 8 beaches receiving the award. Jamie Ormiston, Keep Scotland Beautiful Awards Officer, said, "Scotland's beach awards are the benchmark for quality, celebrating clean, well-managed and sustainable beaches. Our award-winning beaches demonstrate excellent beach management, and we hope that all who visit this year play their part in keeping them beautiful. I'd like to thank all those who do so much to protect, maintain and enhance our beaches, protecting the sand and sea for us all to enjoy. In order to achieve Scotland's Beach Award, a range of criteria must be met, including beach safety, access to facilities and cleanliness. Focusing on local environmental quality, the award is designed to complement the work undertaken by the Scottish Environment Protection Agency on bathing water quality. A map showing all the award-winning beaches can be found at www.keepscotlandbeautiful.org/beach.
Getting wellies on the ground. The Royal Highland Education Trust has secured £200,000 of funding from the Scottish Government to provide a farming and rural learning experience for a minimum of 80,000 pupils across Scotland. The funding secures the future of rural education events for children and young people, covering core costs such as infrastructure, bus transport, coordination and safety requirements. Alistair Marshall, RHET Chairman, said, "We are very grateful to the Scottish Government for this award, which helps support our aim of getting pupils and their teachers out into the working countryside to get wellies on the ground and ignite their curiosity. We offer all of our visits, talks and events for free. It is important to us all in the RHET national network to make food and farming fun and accessible for all. Through using event spaces creatively and working in collaboration with Angus Show, we have today, we can offer more schools the chance to get hands. Brechin Show is open tomorrow for the public, so today we are using the big marquee for workshops, keeping us out the rain or sun." Rural Affairs Secretary Mary Gugan saw for herself how funds are being spent to educate Scotland's young people when she joined over 100 P5 and P6 pupils from Brechin, who were meeting local farmers, growers and rural businesses last Friday. She said, "Since 2017, the Scottish Government has given over £700,000 to the RHET in order to support their programme of school farm visits and associated educational resources for schools. This has allowed them to educate and inspire thousands of children and young people on how Scottish food is produced. This fresh support will allow RHET to reach even more children, many of whom are from deprived areas." RHET Angus Chairman Bruce Christie added, "Every one of Miss Gugan's constituents need a farmer 3 times a day. The support from the award from Scottish Government means we can keep events like this in the school calendar, helping Scotland's young people get better connections with their local food and farming industries. Please sign up for Just One Tree Day. The dates for the 5th International Just One Tree Day have been confirmed. Here in Scotland, it will be staged on September 29th. The event brings together hundreds of schools across the world and encourages children to bring in £1 to plant a tree and help reforest the planet. A tree is planted for every £1 raised. To date, it has involved more than 200,000 children from over 550 schools and resulted in the pupils planting 250,000 trees, enabling Just One Tree to expand into more countries and become part of the UN Decade on Ecosystem Restoration. Founder Amanda Bronkhorst said, "The day was born out of my passion to make a difference, not only for my daughter, but for the future of all children. Open to preschool, primary and secondary schools and colleges. To sign up, visit the justonetree.life website.
District News, General, 14th of June 2023. Lively Rio wants a new home. Rio, a lively and spirited 12-year-old Springer Spaniel, eagerly awaits the opportunity to find his forever family. This delightful canine companion is in need of a home with adults or children aged 10 plus, where he can receive abundant love and affection. Rio's only requirement is a home without other pets, as he desires to be the centre of attention. This affectionate little fellow embodies the true spirit of a Springer Spaniel and has an insatiable love for toys. Rio dreams of having a garden where he can frolic around, chasing balls and enjoying playtime. If you think you could provide a home for Rio, please contact the West Calder Rehoming Centre on 01506 873 459. Transport. Wemyss Bay is the best loved station. Wemyss Bay Station. On June the 9th, Wemyss Bay Station was presented with the Best Loved Station Award by broadcaster and historian Tim Dunn. The station emerged victorious in the highly anticipated World Cup of Stations 2023 as champion, surpassing 47 other stations to claim the title. At the presentation with Tim Dunn was Tracy Stevenson, Community Relations for ScotRail, Ronnie Cowan, Scottish National Party MP for Inverclyde, and Stuart McMillan, Scottish National Party MSP for Greenock and Inverclyde. Friends of Wemyss Bay Station. The World Cup of Stations, supported by the Rail Delivery Group and Community Rail Network, captivated station staff, volunteers, train operators and customers across England, Scotland and Wales through a week-long competition with over 70,000 votes cast across the 11 regions and nations of Great Britain. The ScotRail managed station won the award through its remarkable achievements, including its outstanding volunteer work, the development of a vibrant and colourful community garden, and the establishment of a station bookshop which resonated with voters, earning them widespread admiration and support. As part of Community Rail Week, the competition highlighted the remarkable diversity of stations and the imaginative ways in which they are utilised, often with the invaluable assistance of community rail volunteers who tirelessly work towards improving local stations for residents, the environment and the local economy. The station's triumph highlights its historic significance, awe-inspiring architecture and dedication to community engagement. It is a Category A listed building and renowned for its curved iron and glass roof, as well as a clock tower outside. It was originally constructed in 1865, but rebuilt in 1903 by prolific architect James Miller and engineer Donald Matheson. The Friends of Wemyss Bay, in collaboration with others, have transformed the station into a vibrant community rail destination, capturing the hearts of locals and visitors alike. In receiving this award, Wemyss Bay Station joins the ranks of the country's most beloved and cherished stations, cementing its status as a beacon of excellence in the railway industry. Scotland. Scottish plant names. The Royal Botanic Garden, Edinburgh, publishes dictionary demonstrating the important connections between plants and language. If you heard someone talking about Stink Davy, Witch Gowan, or Doonhead Clock, would you know what they meant? These are just three of the many different names found across Scotland for the humble dandelion. In his book, botanist Dr. Gregory K. Knietcher explores the brilliant, descriptive and often amusing ways in which language has influenced plant names through the ages. Scottish Plant Names is a small book of wondrous plant names presented in a dictionary form and covers a variety of flower, fungi and mosses. From the almost completely forgotten Pictish to the North Seas dialect Doric, Scotland's vocabulary is as varied as its flora. Released on Thursday, June the 22nd, this book delves into the botany of language, and although the focus is very much in Scots, Gaelic and English, the influences of many other tongues can be seen. Beautifully illustrated by Hazel Franz, artist and horticulturalist at the Royal Botanic Garden, Edinburgh, Scottish Plant Names depict some of the plants as they appear in the wild, and other drawings are a literal take on some of the weird and wonderful names that they have been given throughout history. Marsh Marigold as Demon Water Horse's Shoe, Foxglove as Witch's Thimbles, Bluebell as Crow's Toes, and the rose as Ichikus. Some names are descriptive, while others speak of the use of the plant, and some are poetic and poignant. Some names have religious origins or roots in wilder folklore, whilst others are very recent inventions. Kirkintilloch said, "It has been a joy to research this book. The diversity and evolution of plant names is intricate, so delving into the etymology and uncovering the stories behind them has been fascinating." Scottish Plant Names is available in pre-order now at rbgeshop.org. That's rbgeshop.org.
Planning notices. East Dunbartonshire Council public notices. The East Dunbartonshire Council, B757 Birdstone Road, Milton of Campsie in Kirkintilloch. Temporary closure, Order 2023. On the 13th of June 2023, the East Dunbartonshire Council made the above-named order under Section 14(1) of the Road Traffic Regulation Act 1984 as amended, which makes it unlawful for any person to drive or cause or permit to be driven any motor vehicle, with the exception of emergency service vehicles, vehicles engaged in the works, and those requiring access to land and properties adjacent to the closed section of road when it is safe and practical to do so, on the B757 Birdstone Road between its junction with the vehicular access to Birdstone Care Home, Milton of Campsie, and its junction with Andrew and Cameron Lane, Kirkintilloch, by reason of works being executed on or near this road. This order will operate from 8 am on Monday the 26th of June until 6 pm on Sunday the 9th of July 2023. Alternative route. The alternative route for the vehicles will be way of the B757 Birdstone Road, the A891 Campsie Road in Milton of Campsie and Lennoxtown, the B822 Campsie Road in Lennoxtown and Torrance, the B822 Main Street in Torrance, the A807 Torrance Road, the A803 Kirkintilloch Road, Glasgow Road and Kilsyth Road in Kirkintilloch, and the A891 Antermoney Road in Milton of Campsie, and these routes will be signposted. SGD Karen Donnelly, Chief Solicitor and Monitoring Officer, Legal Services, East Dunbartonshire Council Headquarters, 12 Strathkelvin Place, Kirkintilloch, G66 1TJ. East Dunbartonshire Council, Mugdock Country Park, Joint Committee and accounts for charities where East Dunbartonshire Council is the sole trustee. East Dunbartonshire Council Charitable Trusts. Accounts for the period of the 1st of April 2022 to the 31st of March 2023. Notice is hereby given under Regulation 9(1) of the Local Authority Accounts (Scotland) Regulations 2014 that copies of the unaudited accounts of East Dunbartonshire Council, Mugdock Country Park, Joint Committee and East Dunbartonshire Council Charitable Trust for the period of the 1st of April 2022 to the 31st of March 2023 will be available for public inspection at the website www.eastdunbarton, that's eastdunbarton.gov.uk on Monday the 3rd of July 2023, and in person by appointment between the hours of 10 am and 4 pm, Monday to Friday, from Monday the 3rd of July to Friday the 21st of July, both days inclusive. Under the 2014 regulations, any person interested may inspect a copy of the abstracts of the accounts to be audited, all books, deeds, contracts, bills, vouchers and receipts related thereto, and may take copies of any and all parts of the accounts. Any person interested may object to the accounts or to any part of those accounts no later than the 24th of July 2023 by sending their objection by email together with a statement of the grounds thereof to the auditor Mazars, that's Mazars, for attention of Tom Reed, Audit Director at 100 Queen Street, Glasgow, G1 3DN, and sending a copy of that objection and statement to East Dunbartonshire Council for the attention of Jamie Robertson, Chief Finance Officer, by email to customerservices@eastdunbarton.gov.uk. The auditor shall, if requested by the person objecting the authority or by any officer of the authority who may be concerned, afford to that person or authority or officer, as the case may be, an opportunity to appear before and be heard by the auditor with respect to that objection, and any such person or officer may also appear and be heard either personally or by a representative. Those who wish to view the annual reports should make the request by telephone on 0300 123 4510 or by email to customerservices@eastdunbarton.gov.uk. Alternatively, you can view the accounts of East Dunbartonshire Council, Mugdock Country Park Joint Committee and East Dunbartonshire Council Charitable Trust on the Council's website at www.eastdunbarton.gov.uk from Monday the 3rd of July 2023. East Dunbartonshire Health and Social Care Partnership, HSCP. Accounts for the period of the 1st of April 2022 to the 31st of March 2023. Notice is hereby given under Regulation 9 (1) of the Local Authority Accounts (Scotland) Regulations 2014 that copies of the unaudited accounts of East Dunbartonshire Health and Social Care Partnership (HSCP) for the period from the 1st of April 2022 to the 31st of March 2023 will be made available for public inspection at the website www.eastdunbartonshire-health-social-care. From Monday the 3rd of July 2023 and in person by appointment between the hours of 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. Monday to Friday from Monday the 3rd of July to Friday the 21st of July, both days inclusive. Under the 2014 regulations, any person interested may inspect a copy of the abstracts of the accounts to be audited, all books, deeds, contracts, bills, vouchers and receipts related thereto, and make copies of any or all parts of the accounts. Any person interested may object to the accounts or to any part of those accounts no later than the 24th of July 2022 by sending their objection by email together with a statement of the grounds thereof to the auditor Mazars, Mazars, for the attention of Tom Reed, Audit Director, at tom.reed@mazars, mazars.co.uk, or in writing at 100 Queen Street, Glasgow, G1 3DN. The auditor shall, if requested by the person objecting the authority or by any officer of the authority who may be concerned, afford to that person or authority or officer, as the case may be, an opportunity of appearing before and being heard by the auditor with respect to that objection, and any such person or officer may so appear and be heard either personally or by a representative. Those who wish to view the annual accounts should make their request by emailing to jean.campbell, that's JEAN .CAMPBELL, and then the number 2 at ggc.scot.nhs.uk. Alternatively, you can view the accounts for East Dunbartonshire Health and Social Care Partnership at the HSCP's website, www.eastdunbarton.gov.uk/health-health-services/East-Dunbartonshire-health-social-care. And these will also be available at www.eastdunbarton.gov.uk from Monday the 3rd of July 2023. The East Dunbartonshire Council, Union Street, Kirkintilloch, proposed raised tables. East Dunbartonshire Council, in terms of Section 37(2) of the Roads (Scotland) Act 1984, hereby give notice of its intention to install 2 road humps in the form of raised tables on Union Street, Kirkintilloch. One raised table is to be installed adjacent to the Peel Park entrance, from a point to the west of Peel Park entrance gates to a point just east of the Oxford Street junction. The other raised table will be installed adjacent to Kirkintilloch Town Hall, from a point just west of the junction with the Town Hall Service Lane to a point just before junction with York Place. The raised tables to be constructed to a maximum height of 100mm with 60mm upstanding curbs to sidewalks along most areas. Expect 25mm upstanding at entrance to Holy Family Church and flushed curbs at crossing points and along the entrance to the Town Hall. The raised table access from road will be ramped on all approaches. Full details of this proposal, together with a plan, are available for inspection without payment of fee in the roads section of the East Dunbartonshire Council website. Telephone inquiries to 0300 123 4510. Any person wishing to object to the proposal should send details of the grounds of the objection in writing to Chief Solicitor and Monitoring Officer, Legal Services, East Dunbartonshire Council Headquarters, South Bank Marina, 12 Strathkelvin Place, Kirkintilloch, G66 1TJ, or by emailing legalservices@eastdunbarton.gov.uk by Friday the 14th of July 2023. Karen Donnelly, Chief Solicitor and Monitoring Officer, East Dunbartonshire Council Headquarters, 12 Strathkelvin Place, Kirkintilloch, G66 1TJ. Civic Government Scotland Act 1982. Application for grant of taxi/private hire car booking office. The undernoted has applied for the grant of a taxi/private hire booking office licence in terms of the above Act. Name and address of applicant: Alan Alexander Forrest, 21 Dalling Park, Kern, Dunoon, PA 23 8FB. Day-to-day manager: Alan Alexander Forrest, 21 Dalling Park, Kern, Dunoon, PA 23 8FB. Premises: Kirkintilloch and Torrance Radio Cars, Unit 11, 102 Crowhill Road, Bishopbriggs, Glasgow, G66 1RP. Any objections or representations in terms of paragraph 3 brackets 1 of Schedule 1 of the Act should be logged with the undernoted no later than 28 days from the publication date of the newspaper in which this advertisement appears. Deputy Chief Executive, Education, People and Business, East Dunbartonshire Council, 12 Strathkelvin Place, Kirkintilloch, G66 1TJ. Civic Government (Scotland Act 1982. Application for grant of second-hand vehicle dealer licence. The undernoted has applied for the grant of a second-hand vehicle dealer licence in terms of the above Act. Name and address of applicant: Kelvin Side Motor Company, Unit 4, Kelvin Side Industrial Estate, Kirkintilloch, G66 1SY. Day-to-day manager: Daniel Scullion, 54 Fossil Grove, Kirkintilloch, Glasgow, G66 3SP. Premises: Kelvin Side Motor Company Limited, Unit 4, Kelvin Side Industrial Estate, Kirkintilloch, G66 1SY. Any objections or representations in terms of paragraph 3 brackets 1 of Schedule 1 of the Act should be logged with the undernoted no later than 28 days from the publication date of the newspaper in which this advertisement appears. Deputy Chief Executive, Education, People and Business, East Dunbartonshire Council, 12 Strathkelvin Place, Kirkintilloch, G66 1TJ. Members' surgeries. Councillors' arrangements for interviewing residents. Ward 5, Bishopbriggs South, Gordon Low, 17th of June 2023, Bishopbriggs Academy, 10 a.m. to 10:45 a.m. Dining area. 17th of June 2023, Bishopbriggs Library and Community Hub, 11:15 a.m. until 12 noon, Room 1. 17th of June 2023, Auchnairn CE Centre, 12:30 p.m. until 1:15 p.m, again Room 1. Ward 5, Bishopbriggs South, Councillor Ben Rose, 12th of June, Auchnairn CE Centre, Room 2, 6 p.m. until 6:45 p.m. Ward 7, Kirkintilloch East and North Antwecker, Councillor Stuart MacDonald, 14th of June, The Hub, William Patrick Library, Service Room 1, 5:30 p.m. until 6 p.m. 14th of June, Hearstains Huts, 6:15 p.m. until 6:45 p.m. 21st of June, Twecker Healthy Living and Enterprise Centre, 5:30 p.m. until 6 p.m. 21st of June, Hillhead Community Centre, 6:15 p.m. until 6:45 p.m. Ward 7, Kirkintilloch East and North Antwecker, Councillor Susan Murray, 21st of June, The Hub, William Patrick Library, Room 1, 6 p.m. until 7:30 p.m. Between surgeries, councillors can be contacted at the Members Support Unit on 0300 1234510. Planning applications. Format: application number followed by address/location, followed by proposal, followed by type of advert, followed by period of reps. TP/ED/23/0295. 6 Beach Road, Lenzie, East Dunbartonshire, G66 4HL. Proposed rear extension, installation of bifold doors, and formation of a detached garage. Section 65, affecting CA, 21 days. The application plans and other documents can be viewed online through the Council's website. The current restrictions on non-essential office work associated with the coronavirus pandemic means that plans cannot be viewed in Council offices as normal.
Written comments may be made within the above period to the Council through the Council's website or to the above address. Any representations will be treated as public documents and made available for inspection by interested parties and may also be published on the Council website. Munroists paid a visit to inspire KMWC members. Kirkintilloch Mountaineering Walking Club, KMWC, received a visit from two different but equally challenging Munroists. Kevin Woods completed all the Munros in the winter of 2019 to 2020, while 10-year-old Quinn Young completed her challenge with her father Ian in 2022. Both Kevin and Quinn inspired a mixed audience of adults and enthusiastic children, and there seems no doubt plenty more young people will be taking to the hills. Among them is 11-year-old Lily, who is following in Quinn's footsteps, having completed 47 Munros to date. Anita McCabe from KMWC said, "We would like to thank everyone who came to support us on the night. Also thanks to the local businesses and the other outdoor clubs. A special thank you to TISO for their donation. Anyone wishing to join can do so, as KMWC meets every Thursday in Lenzie Rugby Club around 8:30 p.m. for a social chat." Saunders has a lot to learn. An article by Brian Yule and read by me, Corey. Stephen Saunders hopes to be a manager one day after moving into coaching at Caledonian Locomotives, but admits he has a lot to learn. The former Motherwell and Ross County defender, who was capped once for Scotland, decided to hang up his boots last summer at the age of 31, as injuries caught up with him. He began a new life as a financial advisor, having sat his exams while winding down his career at Gartcairn and East Kilbride, before becoming part of the coaching staff at Rossville under manager Kevin Kelly. In April, the club, now called Caledonian Locomotives, confirmed the quartet would remain in charge next season, despite regulation from the WOS First Division. He told the SM Media podcast, "When I got to the age of 26, I did my B licence down at TNS, and the plan was always to go into football coaching. If I hadn't come up to Livingston, then I would have been coaching the under-19s/20s at TNS full-time. And the way TNS promote coaches, I'd probably have been part of the first-team staff by now." The TNS assistant manager, Carl Darlington, was head of coach education at the Welsh FA, and his sessions there was a plan to everything, and I took a lot from that. Doing a lot of the same drills day in, day out does get a bit monotonous, whereas he was putting on different drills all the time, and different variations to get the same outcome, and it really interested me. Looking forward, I want my players, or players who I coach, to enjoy football, whether it is first team, youth team, or grassroots level. I've had conversations with other people in teams. Management for me in the long term is a yes, but probably not in the short term. This is my first step into a first team environment, so there are ways of dealing with people and dealing with men instead of youth players. Over the next couple of years, I'll be learning and getting back on the grass and putting on sessions to see what works for first team players. Kev is a very good coach. We've the experience of Scott Black in the background, and John McGowan is probably one of the best young coaches around. So learning from these guys and learning from teams we play is all a learning curve for me at this level. That article was written by Brian Yule and read by me, Corey. Summer Netball Comp returns to Leisuredrome. Bishopbriggs Community Council hosted its first summer netball tournament at the Leisuredrome since lockdown. Organised by St Helens Primary School teacher Michelle Cumming, it featured Bimaldi, Meadowburn, St Helens, St Matthews and Westerclens. The competition was intense, but friendly, as Meadowburn won with Bomoldy second and St Helens third. The Community Council congratulates all pupils who took part and thanks everyone involved. Tigers' big win away to rivals. An article written by Phil Lanning and read by me, Corey. Glasgow Tigers boss Cammy Brown hailed the professional job the side produced to win at Edinburgh Monarchs on Friday night. Tigers opened their championship campaign with a 51-39 victory at Armadale, and were always in control against a delayed home side who were missing their top two, Josh Pickering and Craig Cook. Brown said, "They had two very good replacements in Richie Worrell and Lewis Kerr, who did a very good job for them. I was really pleased with the way our boys rode. They all got stuck in and produced vital race wins at vital times. It was a very professional job. Once again, we were solid right the way through. That pleases me the most. We have so much strength and depth. We had to dig in at times, but Chris Hannis and Tom Brennan both delivered when it really counted. I'd go as far as to say as it was one of Tom's best displays for the club. Even Marcin Nowak, who has struggled at Armadale in the past, produced 3 outstanding rides right out of the top draw. Lee Coplin also delivered big time, while Klaus Vissing only dropped 1 point, which is sensational. Brennan top scored with paid 14, while Hannes picked up 13, and Brown had praise for all the team and the fans. He added, "It's the perfect start to our away league campaign. It's also very sweet to win at our rivals for the fans. It was so good to see a huge amount of travelling support. That definitely lifted the boys. It's a good night." That article was written by Phil Lanning and read by me, Corey. Tournament brought together Lindsay Kits. An article by Ian Stevenson and read by me, Corey. The annual Lindsay Primary School Football Festival took place at Lindsay Academy, Astro, as 12 local primary schools took part in a soccer sevens competition. On the day, a total of 36 games were played, with not one caution or sending off being issued. There was just good football and some cracking goals. It was Holy Family who eventually came out on top as they lifted the Jim McNairn Trophy with St Helens as runners-up. The event was organised by Lindsay After School Club, and they would like to thank Lindsay Academy for the use of their facilities, referees Joe, Willie and Stuart, who did a great job, and who selected Rory from Lindsay Meadow as their man of the match, and to David and Craig Bald, who organised the fixtures and kept the scores. A special thanks to Lindsay Meadow, who hastily organised another team when Hillhead Primary withdrew their team on the morning of the festival. That article was written by Ian Stevenson and read by me, Corey.
That concludes this week's edition of the Kirkintilloch Herald podcast. Please remember to subscribe to our channels, review, and to tell your friends about our service.